This presentation is brought to you again by me, Hannah H. Tarindwa, lecturer, advanced Toastmaster, author, and creativity consultant. I hope that this will be another exciting presentation and insightful just for you. Enjoy. Welcome to the presentation. For today, we are going to be focusing on the project life cycle. So it's important to understand that monitoring and evaluation occurs during and after the project lifecycle. So the monitoring and evaluation exists within the project lifecycle. And so because this is monitoring and evaluation for beginners, it's also important to include the explanation of what is a project, what is an intervention, what does it mean. And from the get-go, I would like you to understand that activities must begin and end. Right, so a project is an activity that begins and ends. I will probably repeat it during the presentation, but that is very important, a vital aspect of a project. In this presentation, there'll be the definition of a project, the project life cycle, and where M&E and projects meet. Let's get into it. So we'll start by defining what is a project. Now, simply put, a project is a planned activity. So you have a birthday party is a project, a wedding is a project, but of course then you've got building a school as a project, or um, introducing a clinic as a project. So what those activities, they're all planned, but the difference might be that they're executed by individuals or as a group. Nonetheless, they have a specific outcome that they intend on achieving. And often the project is carefully thought out, it's designed well and planned towards that specific goal. And so when we're looking at a project, we say there's a plan, right? So there's got to be a plan. What's going to happen? How is it going to happen? How much money is going to take? So we will also talk about project plans as well as monitoring and evaluation plans, and to understand the difference. Then you have to research. There's a very important component of research. So a plan is only a vision without, if you've got a vision, it remains a vision, but a plan is a vision that has research. I hope that makes sense to you as you listen to this. So you've got your research. You must find out information that you probably have assumed. So most of the time when people have a plan, they assume things. They assume, I'll just take the birthday party example, for example, as an example. So you want to plan a surprise birthday party. You must research. You must know, what does the person that you're planning for like? How much is a cake? The venues, will they like the venues? How many people can you invite? All that information is research. And then focus on the outcome. So a project, it's important to know that it focuses on the outcome. What do you want to achieve at the end of the day? You want people to have a good time and the birthday person to be happy. And then it has a distinct start and end. So when you're sending out your invites, you know that the birthday party is going to start at 10 o'clock in the morning and finish at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That has to be definitive. Now, the project life cycle, like I said already, it has a definite beginning and end, and the cycle consists of activities that occur, and we are going to talk about those activities as we go on. Right, so the first one is the concept. The concept will come probably when a problem is identified. The problem in the birthday party being, okay, there's a special person in our lives, they were born on a specific day. How are we going to make their day happy? So it means there's nothing that might have been planned. So that's the concept, just the idea, right? And getting into real life situations like projects that which will use M&E. So for example, if there is a problem of children not getting books or not reading, right? So that's what's the concept. The concept usually comes from the identification of a problem, right? You identify a problem and then you say, okay, how can I solve this problem? So when you're answering that, how can you solve the problem? That's the concept. From the concept comes, you define the problem and then you start planning. So, okay, is the problem that children don't have libraries? Is it the problem that parents don't allow children to go out? Is it the problem that the children can't read? So you define your problem. These two parts are very, very important when you're doing a project life cycle. And a lot of people tend to skip it, particularly small to medium enterprises. They tend to skip this. Um, the importance of this. It's like, oh, I want to help by giving shoes to people, right? Okay, so there's a problem. Children don't have shoes. Yeah, let's do this. But they don't really define what the problem is. Maybe it's the weather. People don't like wearing shoes. So it's not so much that they don't have shoes because they are poor, but maybe because they don't like them. So it's very important. And then you, of course, you draw your plan for the project. Then this part, of course, this is where the legwork is done, the implementation of your plan and your defined concept. As you are implementing, there must be control. So these your checks and balances. Are you still on the right path? What you're doing, is it still according to the plan? And then as you are implementing, and then there has to come a point where the project is closed. You have done what you're supposed to do, and this is the end. So we are going to obviously go deeper as we talk more about monitoring and evaluation as well as projects, but this presentation is just um, it's just a run through of project life cycle. If you've never heard about it, I would really recommend that you read. There's so much literature about project life cycle, but I just want you to have just the general idea of the terminologies used, and then we talk now about where does monitoring and evaluation and projects meet. So number one, when carried out appropriately and on time, monitoring and evaluation will ensure that your project is successful. I have also embarked on quite a number of projects in my life which did not, before I knew about monitoring and evaluation, which did not consist of planning, the project life cycle, all those things. They just seemed like theoretical concepts. But I feel like now that I know it, my projects from now going forward should have better direction and they should be more successful because you are monitoring and evaluating. And when we say success, it means sometimes I feel like success means stopping a project that might turn out to be a total disaster in the future. That's success, or irrelevant to people that you think you're helping. That is success as far as I'm concerned. But if it's going to be then, if it's so good that it's going to be implemented, then you will have success because you are checking yourself, you're monitoring and you're evaluating and you're saying, is this the right way? And you are adjusting, making results based decisions as you go. So when monitoring, obviously you ensure that the plan is adhered to. When I started studying monitoring and evaluation, there was a statement, what is not monitored is not done. And I find that is very true. Then you identify obstacles, like I said, and advantages, and you minimize the risk of failure. And when you evaluate, You also determine the degree of success. So like, oh my gosh, we managed to give 50 shoes to children when we thought we were only going to give 20. And then it informs learning during and after. So as you monitor, if you're evaluating a project as you're going along, you can tell, okay, oh, these are the lessons we're getting. And then you can also identify unintended effects. So let's say if we continue the shoe example, maybe children didn't have shoes and were not going to school because of it. And then now school starts reporting that more children are coming to school regularly. That might have been an unintended effect of just that small project. So again, like the first presentation that we did, remember, review your monitoring data. It's going to help. And you do it within the project. So the project is the boat. It really requires that there's monitoring and evaluation. But remember that with M&E, information is nothing unless it is used. So from me, Hannah H. Terrell, thank you for joining me. And if you've got any questions, just email me to maccafrica@gmail.com. This presentation has been brought to you by Opinion Creativity Consultants, CC in Windhoek, Namibia. Have a great day.